back to my channel. So in this lab we'll understand how to create a data flow job. We will be making use of Apache Beam. Apache Beam is an open source programming model where we define and execute data processing pipelines across different execution engines. Apache Beam provides an SDK which developers can use to build, batch, and stream the data processing workflows. Apache Beam SDK provides APIs in multiple languages like Java, Python, and Go. So in this lab, the language used is Python. Using Apache Beam, we can define a pipeline and then use Dataflow to run that pipeline. So in this lab, we'll be making use of Python development environment for Dataflow, using Apache Beam SDK for Python, and run this Dataflow pipeline. So as part of this lab, we'll be creating a cloud storage bucket to store results of Dataflow pipeline, then install Apache Beam SDK for Python and run a Dataflow pipeline remotely. Let's start the lab. Now the console is activated. So let's proceed with task 1. Create a cloud storage bucket. So when we run a pipeline using Dataflow, the results get stored in a cloud storage bucket. So for that purpose, we need to create a bucket. So let's create a bucket, and the bucket name should be this. So this is the name which we should follow. So copy this here. Under navigation menu, click on cloud storage, click on buckets, click on create. So provide a bucket name here. Continue. Location type, select multi-region US. Click on continue, and it will be the storage class for the data will be standard. Access control will be uniform. Click on create. You can click on confirm here. This will create a bucket for storing our results. So now we have created the bucket. You can click on check my progress. So now this is complete. Next, we will install the Apache Beam SDK for Python. So we will be making use of Python 3.9 version. So we will execute this command docker run -it, and we are providing the project ID and we are specifying the Python version. So let's copy this, activate Cloud Shell here. You can click on new window, open this in new window, execute it here. So it's pulling this image from remote repository. So once it downloads the image, so now you can see we are inside this container. Once it downloads the Python stable version, it will open a command shell for you to run the following commands inside your container. So it has downloaded this Python version and it has opened this container. So we are inside the container now. So inside container we will be installing this Apache Beam SDK. So using pip install. So we need to execute pip install Apache Beam. So this is the Apache Beam SDK with this version we are installing. So let's copy this and execute it here. So now it's downloading this Apache Beam inside this container. Now the download is complete. Next, let's run this wordcount.py by executing this command python -m Apache Beam. So we are making use of that SDK which we had installed, and we are running this word count Python example file. So let's copy this. Let's do ls. So this is the output file. When we executed this example word count Python file, we had redirected this output to this output file. So when we do ls, it will list that output file. So let's cat this output file. So now we get the results inside this. So your results show each word in the file and how many times it appears. So this is what. each word how many times it's appearing. So this is the expected one. Next, let's proceed with task 3. Run an example data flow pipeline remotely. Now in this task we will run this example data flow pipeline remotely. First we'll set the bucket environment variable to the bucket which we have created earlier. So for that, let's copy this. Let me clear the screen. So you have to be inside container when you are performing all of this activity. So the bucket name, let's copy the bucket name here. So this is the bucket which we had created earlier. So let's copy this. Ensure you provide the correct bucket name here. Next, we will run the wordcount.py example remotely. So here we will execute this command python-m apache beam examples word count. So we are running this wordcount.py remotely. So here we are passing the project ID, and the runner will be Dataflow runner, and staging location we are giving the bucket path followed by staging, and the temp location will be this. Output results will be placed in this path, and the region will be US West 1. So let's copy this, execute it here. Now we are running remotely. Before we ran locally. Now we are making use of storage bucket to store our results file. So we are making use of this data flow runner. So here you can see it's making use of this SDK image, SDK, Python SDK image for environment. So it's making use of this, and container image is this. So now it's uploading the results to this bucket location. You can see the runner, data flow runner, getting executed here. So you can see this is in job state running. So it's starting the worker pool setup, starting one workers in US West 1, and workers have started successfully. So you should get this message. So meanwhile we can check this. So here let's search for data flow, click on this. This is the job, it is in running state. So let's click on this. In task 4 you need to verify this data flow job succeeded. You should see your word count job with the status of running at first. So here you can see this is the job graph. So this 0 of 2 stages succeeded, so it is still running. So you can see the logs here as well. You can see the job name, job ID, and when it got started. So here you can see the job region, current workers, when it got started. So all these details you can find here. Staging location is this. So whatever we have specified, it is using that. Now you can see all the stages. 2 of 2 stages succeeded. Next is it proceeded with this. So now all the stages are completed. You should get this message, job state done. So now you can click on check my progress. Now this is complete. And in navigation menu, you can go to cloud storage buckets. Here click on this bucket. You can see the results here. Results, staging, temp, all this folder got created, and you can see the output file under results. So this is how you verify it. So data flow temp location must be a valid cloud storage URL. So once you complete all of this task in this lab, you can click on end lab. So in this lab we learned how to create a data flow pipeline As part of this lab, we created a storage bucket to store the results of the data flow pipeline. We had pulled the latest Docker Python stable version and started the container. Inside container, we installed the Apache Beam SDK to run a Python file. Then we remotely executed this data flow pipeline and stored this result in the storage bucket. So with this, I will be ending this lab. If you found my video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel and stay up to date with the latest content on this channel. I will be uploading few more videos on data flow. Please stay tuned to the channel. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next video.